Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. In today's video, I wanted to share with you a new purchase I made from the Laura Geller website. I have decided to give this Better Than Block foundation a try. So I want to go ahead, this is a first impressions. We're going to put it on, see how it looks on my skin. I'm going to take you outside into natural light, see how it looks out there. And then I think what I'm going to be doing is wearing this for several days so that I can really give you an opinion on how I like or dislike this foundation. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you happen to be new to my channel, I am 56 years old. So my skin is 56 years old. I think it's just helpful to know the age of the person applying the foundation. And then also, I tend to have very, very dry skin in the winter time. I think in the summertime, my skin leans towards much more normal to dry, I guess I would say. So I did want to share that because I do think it's helpful information if you're deciding if a foundation might work for your skin or not. Now, I'm also trying something different today. I have completely turned my ring light off. So I am just sitting in front of a window with some sunlight coming in because I thought that that might just be able to really show you the foundation the best. Sometimes the ring lights I think can blow out things a little bit or distort it. So I decided to give this a try. So I hope that it works with just the natural sunlight coming through the window. All right, so just a little bit about this foundation. It is called the Better Than Block. It says that it's a skincare infused serum foundation with an SPF of a 50 plus. And looking at the sunscreen ingredients in this foundation, this is a hybrid sunscreen where it contains both chemical and mineral sun filters. All right, so I purchased this. It was $17. They were having a sale, but I've come to find out that I think Laura Geller is always running a sale on her website. I really would not spend full price on most of her products because I feel like they have sales almost every day. So the normal price of this foundation is listed at $34, but I purchased it a couple of weeks ago at $17. And as I film this, I just checked the website, and once again, there is a sale and they are selling this for $17. This foundation here is billed as a light to medium coverage with a natural finish. It comes in 6 shades, which is not a lot. So I picked light for the shade that I'm gonna try today. This also says that it can be applied with your fingers or a brush. So here is the packaging. It is in a little tube, and let's see. It's just got the little squeezy nozzle. Here is the way the foundation looks on the back of my hand. So it's they call it a serum foundation, so it's a slightly runnier texture, but not super runny. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull my hair back, and we are gonna go ahead and start applying this foundation. So because they say that you can apply this with either your fingers or a brush, I think today I'm going to use, I do have a Laura Geller foundation brush. I'm gonna use this to apply it, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I am gonna put it a little bit on the back of my hand here. I really don't know the coverage level, so I'm kind of starting with that, and I'm just gonna dot this all over. We'll start with that and see how this goes. Now, I do not have today anything on other than my skincare and my sunscreen. I did not apply any under eye brightener, and I'm not going to put any concealer on either. I'm just gonna kind of put this up underneath my eyes, and that's all I'm gonna use today. So far, looking in the mirror, I feel like it is more of a dewy finish than a natural finish, but I think it looks really pretty so far. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna pounce the brush right in the little bit of foundation that's on the back of my hand and kind of work it in. I have seen Wayne Goss. He is a makeup artist here on YouTube, and that's how he always does his like foundations, his liquid foundations in a brush. He like pounces it and then kind of applies it on. So I'm just gonna build it up a little bit more doing that method. All right, so right off the bat, I would not call this a natural finish. I hope you can see that this is pretty, it's a pretty glowy finish on my face. I think it's very pretty, but it's definitely, I'm probably going to use some powder just to take down the glow a little bit. But I think it really, it's a very light coverage. Right now it feels just slightly tacky, so I'm sure it's probably will dry down, but right now I can kind of feel like a little bit of tackiness. And when I am looking in the mirror, I mean, I can definitely see my skin underneath this foundation. I can see my imperfections. Definitely, you know, it's not a full coverage by any means. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on, and then I'm going to bring you outside to show you what this looks like out in natural daylight, and we can get an idea of how it looks out there. And then I hope to maybe be back later tonight. It's going to be kind of a busy day, so I'm not exactly sure I'll be able to check in later to check the wear. But on one of these upcoming days, I definitely will be able to do a check-in at the end of the day just to see how this is wearing on my skin. And like I said, I really want to be able to give you an opinion after wearing this for several days so that I can really tell you if I like it or if I don't like it. But right now I have to say I'm pretty impressed with how this looks. I think it looks very pretty on the skin. All right, so what I thought I would do to kind of take down a little bit of the shine, this is the Laura Geller. This is her Universal Filter Finish Radiant Setting Powder. And it is one of those swirled powders. I absolutely love this pressed powder. So I'm gonna go ahead right now and apply this to just half of my face, and we can see the comparison of taking down the shine, because this foundation on me is extremely glowy. All right, so this is the side that I've put the powder on, and this is what I haven't powdered yet. I like how this looks with the powder on over this foundation for sure. I think it was just a little too glowy for me without. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this powder to the rest of my face. All right, so I am liking that a lot better. It is still on the glowier side, but it's not quite so disco ball. And I like the way that this looks. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take you out into the natural daylight, and we're gonna see how it looks there. All right, so here I took you out into the direct sunlight to see this. And it definitely looks better with the powder, but you can still see there is quite a bit of glowiness with this serum foundation. And then this is just in more natural light, and here you can really see that it's already started to cake up around my nose area. All right, friends, it is a new day, and I am back to try again the Laura Geller Better Than Black Serum Foundation. So yesterday I was not able to do a check-in later in the day because I was going out and I knew that I was going to have to touch up my makeup, and I didn't think checking in would be a fair comparison because I really had to do a lot to get this to look the way I wanted to look going out. So today I will be checking in to show you how this wears. And once again, I have my regular skincare done and sitting for probably over 20 minutes. And again, I'm sitting in front of the window with just the natural light. My ring light is completely turned off so that we can get a real good look of how this looks on my skin. So I did notice that yesterday when I looked at the footage, and then also when I was just looking in the mirror throughout the day, this serum is billed as natural finish, and I would say for me that is not the case at all. This is extremely glowy, almost to the point where, especially in my T-zone, it's a little too glowy. So I thought today, before I apply this, I'm going to try to put like a mattifying primer underneath and see how that works. The only Laura Geller primer that I have, this is the Spackle in the bronze shade, and this would not work under that foundation because this is like a really glowy primer as well. I don't have the original Laura Geller Spackle. The only mattifying primer that I do have is this Revolution Blur Stick. I got this for the blur, to try it for the blurring, but this is more of a mattifying primer, so I am going to go ahead and put this on first before applying this with my fingers, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply some of this primer. All right, so we're gonna start with that canvas and see how this works today. All right, so like I said, I am gonna go ahead and apply this with my fingers today. And I'll start with a little and just try to build up. I found out yesterday, I don't think the amount that I added was very much coverage at all. So we'll see if just applying this with the fingers, if we can get more coverage. Let me show you this so far. I'm going to try to put a little bit more and try to get a little bit more coverage. Put a little bit more. I will say it does blend pretty easily with just your fingers. All right, I don't find that this builds very easily. And I can see even with the mattifying primer that I've got underneath, it's still very glowy. I hope that you can see the glow factor. All right, well, that's what we're gonna start to work with though, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. All right, so I've put on the rest of my makeup. I'll have everything listed below that I used. I used all of the same bronzer, blush, eyeshadow, mascara that I did yesterday to keep all of that the same. And I'm showing you before I am powdering because I hope it's coming up on the camera, like how glowy this Serum foundation really is on me. Can you see the glow? I think in person it looks even more glowy than it's showing up on camera. So once again, I'm gonna have to use the powder that I like, and this is the Laura Geller. This is the Universal Filter Finish Radiant Powder. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this kind of all over just to set it, and then we will go ahead and start my day. All right, so I have topped it with the Laura Geller Universal Filter Powder, and I like this look a lot better. Just really taking down the shine, especially in my T-zone. It was just a little too glowy for me. All right, so this is our starting point today, and I will be back maybe once or twice to show you how the wear went. But this is where we are starting off. All right, friends, I am back to check in. I have had the Laura Geller Better Than Block Serum Foundation on for just a little over 7 hours now. And I am still at that window where I applied it. I still have my ring light off. I feel like there's enough natural light coming in that hopefully it will make it easier to see how it's setting on my skin at this point. All right, so I'm getting a little bit closer here so you can kind of see. When I was just looking in my magnifying mirror, I'm actually pretty surprised that it still looks like there is a little something there. And the reason that it surprised me is that this foundation is such light coverage to begin with. So I really expected that I was out, I was doing a little bit of yard work and kind of sweating, so I thought there was going to be absolutely nothing left. But I'm actually surprised that there seems to be a little something hanging on. Now, does it look perfect? No, it doesn't. I've noticed it's like kind of collected here around my nose and my forehead. I think it's maybe hard to see on camera, but it looks like most of it is kind of worn off. It's kind of like patchy on my forehead. So I am kind of surprised that there is something here because this is such a light coverage. I know that they bill this as a light to medium coverage, but I do not think this is medium coverage at all. But yes, this is what it looks like after 7 hours. I think it's in 20 minutes on my skin. Okay friends, I am back to wrap up my review of the Laura Geller Better Than Block Serum Foundation. And this morning I decided to try to use this just as a sunscreen. Knowing what light coverage this offers and that it's a really pretty fluid consistency, I decided just to use this as my sunblock while I walked my dog this morning. So I did apply 2 finger lengths of this serum foundation all over to my face and neck. And I'm putting up a picture of what this looked like I snapped after I put this on before I walked the dog. And you can see that it's still extremely glowy, and with just this product on my face, you can see how it really accentuates the texture that I have on my chin. I just think that glow just really sets off any kind of imperfections that you have on your skin. So I don't really love this as a sunblock. And spoiler alert, right now I am not wearing this foundation. I decided today to wear my favorite Laura Geller foundation, and this is the Baked Balance in Brighten. I have loved this for years. This is the one I decided to wear today instead of this. So my overall opinion of this serum foundation is that it's really not right for my skin. It's just a little bit too glowy, and the coverage is just really, really light. So if you have drier skin and you like a glowy finish and you like really light coverage, maybe this would be a product that you would want to check out. But for me, it just didn't fit the bill. So I hope that this review could be helpful to you, and I do want to thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Bye.